The bliss of the abyss, it's here now.
Welcome back, by the way. You look
Hello.
lovely.
Thank you.
Still naked.
I'm not naked.
I was talking about,
I don't know. I think that, like, with cats and dogs, their currency's in the ass.
Okay. Welcome back to the Bliss of the Abyss. My name is Robin E. Mark Jones. I'm your host for this podcast because I created it. I write all the words. I speak them out of my face. How are you doing? It is Saturday, 11:25 on the 2nd of July, 2022. I'm back from Glastonbury. That's why there's been a bit of a delay in the new episode coming out. I am back. Glastonbury was good. Thanks for asking. Glastonbury was good. Who was the best? Glastonbury was the best. Anybody who asks you which band killed it, who smashed it, who crushed it, Glastonbury crushed it. And that is all I have to say. We did, of course, see Paul McCartney and various other big bands and some small bands as well. Probably my favourite moment was at the Sensation stage. We might have had a little bit of Lysergic, potentially. And we found these hammocks, and we could just about see through the distance the smallest stage, and it had Sensation written on the top, and there was this older dude stood on there wearing kind of military fatigues. He had a mic, and he was just yelling at what looked like was a bunch of children. And I don't remember much of what he said, but it was a lot of yelling. One thing that I do remember was him going, £60! 60 fucking pounds! Don't know what it was about, but it was pretty good. Caitlin and I were in fits of giggles because we came up with a whole theory that he was actually the other Eavis brother, Gary Eavis, written out of the will. So Michael got the whole farm. Michael owns all the cows, all the land. He puts on the festival, of course, with his daughter Emily. But Gary, and to my son Gary, I leave the Sensation stage. Do with it what you will. Although that's not his accent, is it? He's from Somerset. To my son Gary, I leave. To my son Michael, I leave Pilton Farm, 300 head of cows, the milking facilities, and my undying love. And to my other son, Gary, I leave the Sensation stage. What is that, father? Ye shall find out. He's suddenly a pirate. Ye shall find out. So, excuse me, COVID. Still got COVID. Still got COVID. Yeah, so the Sensation stage was a sensation across the nation. Paul McCartney was mind-bogglingly good. The man is 80 and he did almost 2.5 hours. And we were surrounded by Scousers, which is just what you want for your Beatles sing-alongs. Just live and let die. What else can I tell you about? Glastonbury was obviously Glastonbury. If you haven't gone, go! If you've gone before, go again! You will anyway. Unless you had a bad time. This time we were punters. Last time we worked it, and even when we worked it, we had fun. But better to be free as a bird. Should I give some recommendations? Nah, you don't care about my recommendations, do you? Idols were good. There was a band called, I think they were called Sporting Club, which is, not the greatest name for a band, but they were amazing. What were they called? They were called like Eagle something or other on the BBC introducing stage. Look them up. COVID. But then obviously since then, that was a few days ago. So I've been back in the real world, man. I just finished recording an audio book and I've just found out, still got COVID, that there is a thing called a punt gun. Now I'll post an image of this. The punt gun, used for hunting ducks. A single shot could kill 50 or more ducks at once. And there's 2 guys. Obviously, you need 2 guys. The barrel looks like 12 foot long. It's resting on someone's shoulder. I have to say, I'd rather be Trigger Man than Shoulder Boy. They're both wearing duck hunting hats. Let's go hunting. Never been hunting. Never been fishing either. And quite frankly, Caitlin, yes, that's right, I will name her. When she grew up, her dad owned a boat. And they went fishing all the time. So she knows how to fish. Has she taken me? Has she? Fuck. Still got COVID. So, summer's officially here. It's wedding season. I'm going to so many weddings. I already had one myself. Did you know that? That was before I started this podcast. I once was a married man. Wait, I'm still married. 2019, August 17th, straight off the top of the dome. No, I'm not looking at notes. I know it off the top of my head. Thank you very much. And a lot of people have said it was the best wedding they've ever been to, including me. Now, since then, I have been to a number of other weddings. Have they been as good? No. Is that just because my favourite one was mine? I'm not going to be able to convince you otherwise. You know, you're going to believe that. You already do believe that. No one changes their mind on anything anyway in any situation ever. So, I am nevertheless going to stick to my position, which is my wedding was the best. Now, why have other people's weddings not been as good as my wedding? Number 1, shut up. Okay, yes, I am going to say because it was mine. No, I'm only joking. Number 1, because it was mine. Number 2, though, last one I went to, the wine tasted like piss. I'm not sure what was off. It wasn't even, I mean, the wine was bad, but it wasn't even the wine that was bad. It was the Prosecco. Oh, gosh, that was such hard times. You like that? First world problems. Listen, what am I going to talk about apart from my problems? You want me to talk about successes? The Prosecco was flat. Okay, it is what it is. There was a woman next to us at the ceremony who was, you know, one of those people who was just a tank. She was huge and already stank of booze. And we don't know her, but she turned to us and she was like, "This tastes like piss, doesn't it?" And yes, that was a Welsh accent. Thank you very much. And we spoke to a few other people who said that as well. But, you know, I'm not going to name any names and I'm not going to give any more specifics just in case I give myself away here. But because it was a bit pissy, that means the wedding wasn't as good as mine. And I'm not going to go through a whole list of weddings because the more I do that, the more likely it is that someone listening is like, hang on a second. But I will say this, Terence, if you ever hear this, yes, I was drunk for your speech. But no, people did not boo. Maybe you did. Just because I handed that laminated photo of you to your grandmother. Now, maybe you booed. But no one else booed. And I did not gate crash. It was carefully planned out between me and Jammies. And that is my official and last final will and testament on the matter. Thank you very much. Still got COVID. I've got long cough COVID. Is that a thing? Long COVID. Now, everyone's always talking about, obviously, the brain fog. Yes, the poor brain fog. I know. Probably sucks. But long cough COVID is worse. You know, I'm just always going to have a cough. COVID. Long-term effects. Your COVID recovery. How was Omicron? What is long COVID? What can I expect? Long COVID cough. 3 minutes 55. Should we do it? That seems like an awful long time for a video. Long COVID.
Cough. Coughing is the body's way of protecting the lungs and getting rid of things that irritate them. This is a normal and important function.
Good. Why is it taking you so long? Types of cough.
Some infections can leave you with a dry cough because your lungs have been irritated.
Okay.
This should slowly disappear during the course of your recovery.
But what if it doesn't?
It's not clear how long after coronavirus, COVID-19, you may have a cough, and it can be frustrating at times.
It is, yep. This video is good. It gives you time to reply for some reason.
A dry cough is one of the most common coronavirus symptoms. But some people may have a cough with phlegm, thick mucus.
I got both, baby.
It can be difficult to control your cough, but there are a few ways to help.
Ways to help a dry cough.
Ways to help a dry cough.
Come on, help me out, buddy. I'm struggling. Do.
Keep yourself well hydrated by drinking small amounts often throughout the day.
Everyone already does that.
Soothe your throat by drinking a warm drink, such as honey and lemon.
I already do that all the time. All the time.
Take small sips of liquid if you feel yourself starting to cough. Suck a sugary sweet if you feel yourself starting to cough.
Now I do that, but I don't have a sugary sweet, do I? That's bad.
Try swallowing repeatedly if you have a cough and don't have a drink near you.
Swallowing repeatedly? This fucking advice is...
Nose if you have a runny nose. Try not to sniff.
Try not to sniff.
You can also use positions
Right.
to ease breathing if you cough when you go to bed.
You know what? Try not to sniff. Try sucking on a sugary sweet. This is the NHS. They're meant to be giving me health advice. This is terrible. I have been using Strefen, honey and lemon flavour, flubiprofen, which is sugar-free, thank you very much. Okay? Simply has sucralose or some other terrible shit that you shouldn't put in your body. What are you meant to do, eh? Can't have one while I'm doing the podcast, can I? So, it's Coffee McCofferson for now. Ways to help a dry cough. Cloth? See? I'm losing my mind. Still coughing after COVID. Sensory neuropath. I don't think we can watch any more COVID cough videos, can we? But that's Dr. Robert W. Bastian, for those who are interested. A bastion of good health advice. So what else is going on? What else is happening in the world? I tell you one thing that is going on with me is I learnt some wild news today or yesterday. Paedophile comedian jailed for almost 5 years. Comedian Eamon Goodfellow, who paid to watch children be abused online, has been jailed for 4 years and 9 months. Absolutely horrific. And the reason I'm bringing it up is because I gigged with him. I hosted him as an MC. I also went to his night that he hosted as an MC. I shared a stage with him multiple times. And suffice to say, I did not pick up any clues that is what he was doing. But it's always kind of a shocking thing when you see someone's face and name in the press in connection with something dark and twisted. And you just think, oh yeah, I haven't seen that person for a while. I just assumed they were just living a normal life like the rest of us. But apparently no, he's busy doing the most heinous things possible. So yeah, 5 years. 4 years, 9 months. And a 10-year sexual harm prevention order and remain on the sex offenders register for life. Now, this is the thing where if for some, I mean, so horrible, so I'm going to pivot slightly away from it. But you know how some crimes in the sentencing, they like ban you from the internet or something for years. So the example I'm thinking of is there's a documentary series currently on Netflix called, like, they need the promotion. Actually, they do need the promotion. Their share price is tanked, hasn't it? So they do need it. But what's it called? It's called something like The Dark Corners of the Internet. It's not though, but
yes, we can totally change
the future of
and it's gonna be amazing.
Reversing Roe. I don't think I'm ready for that yet. You know? But I mean, how the fuck did Netflix jump on that so quickly? We've already got hour 40 long minute documentary on Reversing Road. Jesus Christ. What a step backwards for the world. Anyway, what I was talking about is this documentary series called Web of Make-Believe, Death, Lies, and the Internet. It's really good. I highly recommend it. And one of the episodes is about swatting. And swatting is, if you don't know, this practice where you're an online gamer and you call in a very serious threat to someone else's address that the law agencies are required by law to take seriously, and they send in a SWAT team to this unsuspecting person's house. And yeah, usually nothing bad happens. I mean, apart from this person getting traumatized by, just being sat there playing Call of Duty and talking shit, to suddenly having the door kicked in and 15 men and women in assault gear with rifles point at him and yell at him or her. Apart from that, not many people, it seems, are actually seriously wounded, but still got COVID. There was this case of this person who died, who was shot by the police, and the police actually didn't face any charges for it. I'll let you draw your own conclusions about that. But the people who arranged the swatting, that who doxed him and who chatted mad shit about him, and egged. There was like 3 of them who kind of egged each other on to do this thing. They got jail time largely, and one of them was also banned from online gaming for 2 years following release. This is a long way of coming back to my point, but you see, I did have a point in chatting this. And I just think, how is that enforceable? Is that enforceable in any way? And if you're caught, like, how are you caught? But let's say you're caught. Let's say your parole officer comes around your house. Is that how it works? It isn't, though, is it? You go to an office and you go, "Hi, it's me. I'm on parole. I'm not looking to go back into prison anytime soon, so here I am." Yo, they don't come, right? I don't know. Maybe they do in some cases. Imagine that, though. You like being caught by your mum gaming up when you're not meant to be, when you're sort of 14 or something. Your parole officer, "I'm very disappointed in you. Give me that Xbox." "No, but I've just got to get to a save point." The amount of times I use that excuse. I've got to save. I've just got to save. And to be fair, why do they have those games where you had to go to a save point? Just let me save whenever, okay? It doesn't matter. The point they make is like, yeah, but then people will save like all the time, and then they'll get to replay really hard. Just let them do it. Just let them fucking do it. It's okay. Who cares? They bought the game. They can do with it what they want. Don't be ridiculous. It's fine. If I buy Monopoly and I decide I want to play chess with the pieces, what are you going to do about it? Nothing. My Monopoly. You sold it to me. Okay? But they used to have save points. Now games, I mean, I've got, what is it? The PS4 downstairs. And whenever I pick it up, you just, you press the middle button and it just starts you back where you were. It's like, carry on. It's like, perfect. That's why I picked it up. I wanted to play some video games. Video games, computer games. I don't know anymore. But yeah, it's quite cool watching this documentary series. This swatting thing is interesting. Death by SWAT. There's this one about the Seth Rich conspiracy theory, if you know anything about that. It's I'm Not a Nazi. That one's good. This woman gets involved with this guy and then it kind of spirals down into the alt-right, and before she knows it, she's at a book burning, and all the authors are Jewish. And she's like, "Hold on, I might have gone into the deep end here. Whoopsie. I don't know if I like this." Then there was sextortion, which is as fucking horrific as it sounds. Virtual blackmail and sexual material. And then this is the one that I haven't watched, which is the last, it's 2-part, The Stingray. Yeah. From counterfeit Beanie Babies to very real tax fraud, 2 skilled hackers revisit the cyber crimes that landed them in the sights of law enforcement. And then part 2, the FBI. The FBI escalates its pursuit of an elusive hacker. Yeah, it'll probably be good. And then it's more like this. You know, this is the thing with Netflix. The more like this thing kind of depresses me. It's like more like this, and it's an endless list of things. And it's the same. It just feels like an overwhelming amount of content, he says, as he adds 20 minutes of unnecessary audio into the world. Thanks for listening, by the way. If you enjoy The Bliss of the Abyss, why not go to patreon.com/theblissoftheabyss, and for £2.50 or more a month, you can help me. What was I saying? But the endless content, the more like this, or what I hate even more than the more like this, and I hate the more like this, is if you finish watching a show. Let's say it was a mini-series. Great, I love mini-series, by the way. One thing you should know about me, I love a limited series. Ooh, 6-parter, 8-parter, 45 minutes each. Perfect, I'm in. Strap in. Got lots of recommendations for you. Don't know you're just dying to hear, but you won't hear them because I'm going to move on. But what I really hate, you finish watching the series, episode 6, you're like, ah, wow, I've gone on this whole journey. La da 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 da. And then it auto plays like some next show or a trailer for some next show, and you're like, well, I didn't finish basking in the afterglow. And related to that is always the endless sort of let's keep making more of the same thing. Like Tiger King or Making a Murderer, right? It's like season 2. It's like, but you literally told the whole story. What is season 2? There's nothing left. It's like remember Joe Exotic? Remember Brendan Dassey? Yeah, that thing you watched. More of that. More of that. More of that. More of that. It's I don't know. It's mindless, and I think after a while you sort of get sick of it, don't you? You're like, I don't want to watch a fucking 6-parter about John Wayne Gacy, okay? I don't want to. And you can't make me. Tell you one thing you do see at Glastonbury is some really questionable tattoos. And I couldn't get a massage for love nor money because I thrown my shoulder out. Still got COVID. You also see the best of humanity. I cannot emphasize this enough. You know what? I would say watch the documentary, Glastonbury, the movie, or the more recent one as well, 50 Years in the Making. But I would say don't watch it until you've been. Just go. You, now, listening, go! Buy tickets. Although they do sell out in half an hour. All 200,000 of them. Nevertheless, go. It's so good. Like everything makes sense in Glastonbury. Everything. The madness makes sense. What, like, for example, the final night we were there after Pet Shop Boys, was it? West End Girls, which Caitlin had not heard of before. After that, we went to see this band, Elvana, who it was just a late night show. The dude was dressed like Elvis. He had 8-piece band, and they played Elvis songs and Nirvana songs. Sometimes they mixed the two. It was incredible, and everyone in the crowd loved it. Right, okay, Caitlin, hello, welcome in.
Hello.
This is not what I was expecting to see. So you're wearing a beautiful dress, and you are holding a needle and thread.
I'm sewing myself into a dress.
I don't know why you didn't think to ask me.
Well, because you were busy doing this.
Yeah, that's true. Well,
I don't think people are going to really notice how badly I did it.
No. But wait until you see the work I do.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to blow you away. I tell you what, I was
do?
just telling the podcast about Elvana.
Oh my god, they were so good.
Why don't you tell them about Elvana and I'll finish this.
At first, like, when we saw Elvana in the list, because what happens is when you go to Glastonbury, you just look at everything and you try to absorb every act that's there. We kind of laughed. Just be careful when you sew into me, because it is going to go into my side. Yeah, and they were fucking great. Like, they were so good, and we were just jumping up and down.
It was incredible.
It was like a mix of Elvis and Nirvana, but mainly Nirvana, and it was really, really fab. And I really wish that you guys could see how I look right now because I'm wearing a very fancy dress.
And so am I. I'm wearing this T-shirt. This made it to Glastonbury.
Yes, you had me. Hello, Dame Judy Bench. You know.
Which is so basically, Caitlin, I can see you've got distracted by the dress again. Now, what has to happen is I have to tie off the end of both of these parts.
Are you going to do this for me? Should I take...
And this part.
Yeah.
To finish the unless you want more stitches, but the more stitches you get, the more it will show.
It'll show. I just wanted it because
Yeah.
I don't even have to do this side now because
West End girls.
But like,
Well, there's a mirror right there. What do you think?
I think that no one's gonna notice.
No,
that
no
I
one's
did a
gonna
botched
notice.
Job.
Now that final stitch I put is really cherry on the top. But
Can I leave the rest for you?
you can leave the rest for me.
Okay.
I just if you leave it like it is,
Yeah.
if you're able to take it off,
Yeah.
if you're able to take off the dress,
Excuse me.
all you have to do
This
is
is a family
shoulder
show.
by shoulder, and then down it goes, and then I will fix it after the
Okay,
podcast.
I am busy right
A naked
now.
woman on the
No!
podcast.
No.
It happened.
I will be right back. You know what? You lose all privilege.
Well, there we go. That was the little 5-minute guest spot there. See if she comes back or not. Who knows? Anyway, that was Elvana. That's the story of Elvana, and an example of why Glastonbury is amazing. Sounds ridiculous. Was ridiculous. And then, of course, obviously, like the massive bands, the huge stage shows, the food, the people that you randomly meet and become best friends with for life. And actually, no rain, beautiful sun, and actually getting in and out pretty easy, the coach. So really, although we bought these tickets back in 2019, and then we had a pandemic, so technically this was the 52nd anniversary, but they still called it the 50th anniversary. So even though we had to wait all those years and go through a pandemic and the dog outside is barking, "I'll kill you, Freddy," it was worth it. Can you hear that? I wonder if the mic picks that up. Now the thing is, right, this fucking little shit, Freddy, I can see from my window into their backyard, and he just tilts his head up at the sky and goes at nothing. There needn't be anything. There's not a pigeon, there's not a cloud, there's not a raindrop, there's not a cat, there's nothing, and he's barking at it. Just the world. Just having a little go at the world in his shitty little high pitch. What is that communicating? What is that communicating? Right? I think we all think of barks as some form of communication. There's actually, oh my God, there's this fascinating video. I wonder if I can find it. Of owners recognizing their dog's bark. So the scientists, you know, those guys, the scientists found that dogs don't only have one type of bark. Dogs have many types of barks. And come in, Caitlin, still naked. Jesus.
No, I am not. I have a special delivery for you. This is your new segment on the podcast.
Oh.
Sewing Hour with Robert. The things on the side.
Robert Sewing Hour Corner.
You don't have to do that now, obviously.
I shall fold it and get to it in a minute.
Because it might be something that we wear to an upcoming wedding, and by we, it's Rob.
I was talking about... Welcome back, by the way. You look
Hello.
lovely.
Thank you.
Still naked.
I am not naked.
I was talking about... Freddie started barking, right?
Yeah, I heard.
And I explained to the listeners that sometimes I can see him. You know, if I stand here, I can actually see him. And he's not there now. But he will literally bark at nothing.
I know.
He literally will bark at not a thing. He just tilts his little shitty head off and goes...
He's literally the example of like one of those little dogs who's just so angry at everyone.
But what is everyone just the universe in this case?
Yeah,
Because he just tilts his head at the sky and
he literally, they can't have anyone knock on the door. He hates us. He hates them. I mean, he
he
doesn't.
doesn't
hate
seem
them.
to hate the baby.
No. Well, then they wouldn't keep him if.
Oh well, so maybe we should. What was that?
That was a saw. Like my parents had to get rid of a dog because the dog bit me.
Was it your dog?
It wasn't like my dog, but it was our dog.
As in, the family's dog. What was he called?
That's a good question. What was she called?
Bitch.
No, she was. Why am I blanking? She was like huge though. She was like half mastiff,
Oh,
half.
why'd you have such a big dog?
Because they had
How old were
puppies.
you?
I was like, I don't know.
Was it bigger than you?
It was a puppy at first, and then she started getting aggressive, and then she had to go. And I'm really sorry to that dog because I forget what we named her, but
Yeah. So how long did she stick around?
basically she just kind of like bit my foot and bit into my shoe, so she missed me, but like put a hole in my shoe. And my dad was
Ooh.
like, "We can't keep her."
Yes, I think that's a good
So it
decision.
was like,
I-
okay. But like she got adopted to like
Yeah.
a more older family, I think,
Right,
who could
so,
deal with.
so you could deal with an aggressive dog.
She was like half mastiff, half even if it was half Labrador, but it was like no, it was two very big dogs, and one of them was very aggressive, and she ended up being very aggressive.
Yeah.
I'll have to ask my dad; he'll remember what her name was.
Okay. But anyway, the reason I was talking about Freddie's barking is, you know,
Because it never stops.
well, because it never stops, and it made me think. I remember watching this video. I don't know if I can find it now, but they had this thing where, because you know, barking is meant to be communication,
Yeah.
right? It's a dog's form of communication, and these scientists studied these barking dogs in different scenarios, and found that the type of bark was different.
Right.
So it was communicating a different kind of thing. Like, for example, one type of bark is a play bark, right?
Sure.
Where it's like having fun. Rah, rah, rah.
Oh, right.
And
yeah.
one is like a danger alert,
right.
right? But they were able to, I can't remember what all 7 were, but they were able to isolate 7 different types. And what they would do, it was really amazing. They record these dogs, and then they'd go to their owners,
Yeah.
and they would just play them the audio of the different type of barks. And after each bark, they'd be like, what is your dog saying? And the owners would get it 100%, all of them.
He
All
wants this. He wants a treat. He's
Yeah.
telling me to back off.
yeah, this one he wants to be let in. She's playing whatever they like knew.
That's cool.
It's cool, right?
I mean, but that makes me think of like the cats. Cats only meow to humans,
Yeah,
and when they're kittens.
and their meow. They do have a range of different meanings for what they mean
Our
as well.
cat talks back to us. I swear to God. Like she'll
Sometimes in a rude way.
sometimes in a rude way. She'll huff, and then she'll be at the door, and we'll be like, "Okay, you can't go out anymore because you're a little black cat, and it's getting dark out, right?" And she'll be like, "Meow." Like, but why not? Like,
Yeah.
And then I'll be like, "No," and she's like, "Meow." And
Yeah,
then, like we'll
yeah.
walk away.
Well, screw you then.
Yeah, exactly. She does that.
Yeah.
And other ones, she'll be like, you'll like pet her, and then she's kind of telling you to stop. She'll go.
What is it with cats walking away where they really stick their ass up in the
They're
air?
like, check me out.
Yeah, that's very much there. Well, you know what? Fine.
I don't know. I think that like with cats and dogs, their currency's in the ass.
Okay.
That's how they.
I'm going to clip that. That's going at the beginning. Now, so my point is, with Freddie, what is
Freddie.
what is
Say it
he
right.
communicating?
He is saying, back off. The world is too big, and I am too small. I think, because he's
You
one
know
of those
what?
little
Not
dogs.
bad. Yeah.
And I think that when they first got him, I don't think they've like since we've known them, they haven't had an animal.
They haven't
And-
socialized him.
Yeah,
So
and
he's
like
kind
they
of
maybe
afraid.
over-babied him
Yeah.
because
Okay.
he was really sweet when we first met him. Like when he was a tiny little ting.
For like a week.
Yeah, for a week. I was like, oh my god, Rob, these are like one of my favorite animals. Like I loved the mini dachshunds. Like, oh my god, maybe we'll get one, Rob. And now, oh my god, I'd rather kill myself.
Yeah, it really turned you off the whole thing.
I was like, no.
You were obsessed for a while, by the way. You'd always be showing me pictures on Instagram, showing me videos.
Yeah, I was getting there. I was like, if we ever get a dog, Rob, we might consider this one because it's basically the same size as Stevie, so she can handle it. But actually now, Stevie Stevie wouldn't ruin that dog.
No.
Stevie. The best thing about Freddie is
Freddie.
that Stevie doesn't go over to the fence anymore.
Little Stevie kids
It's
climbing over the fence, climbing over to Steve and Judy's. Yeah, she doesn't go anymore. But I think she could take Freddie in a fight.
No, she can't. She can't take anything in a fight. Literally, like, if you want to pick her up because you need to take her to the vet or just because, she will, like, be very vocal about it, but there will be no claws.
You know what? Another type of vocal thing that she does
What?
is if ever there's a cat in our another cat in our garden causing trouble and we have to get rid of it,
Yeah.
she'll come up behind you and be like, yeah, stay out.
Yeah, but she'll be sure she's behind you as
Yeah.
the person scuttling the other cat out.
Yeah, that's when she'll act tough.
We have another neighborhood cat who's actually named TC, but we call him Socks.
Her.
Yeah. We thought it was a her for ages. It's a he. We named.
Very much a he. I saw him spraying that tree the other
Yeah,
day.
like once you learn about cat behavior, like, oh yeah, you are a male cat. But
Yeah.
Anyway, Socks came to visit yesterday and ended up staying for hours, but we didn't realize it. He just fell asleep on one of our beds. But at one point, I was getting out treats, and Socks is like very people happy
Yeah.
and very vocal, and I was like, "Do you want a treat?" And he was like, "Meow," but it sounded like yes, and like the way he was responding
Yeah.
was very much like, I don't know, very
Oh my God.
people centric.
You just reminded me. I'm going to share this in the show notes. But there's this video that I found on Instagram that I sent to you. Can we watch it now? Of the dogs watching TV.
Oh my God, yeah.
Can you explain to people? Wait, we'll watch it and
They're husky dogs.
we'll
I think.
talk about it. I think they're huskies.
Yeah.
If they're not huskies, they're like half husky or a similar breed to husky. Is this is us? I thought I sent it to you.
You did send it to me.
Did I send it via Facebook?
Oh yeah, you sent it via Facebook.
Hold on, let me just pause this. Okay, so I found it. Here we go. Set the
Love
scene.
sensation.
Love sensation. I already told the story about the sensation
My
stage.
favourite stage in all of Glastonbury.
60 fucking
60
pounds!
fucking pounds! And then we were like in this hammock, like, wow, man.
Yeah, I told that story already. What was your favorite? What other than that? What was your favorite bit of Glastonbury?
No, that's it. There's no other.
The sensation stage.
I
Love
will say-
sensation.
Wait, did you tell the story about the little girl?
No, I didn't. Yeah, why don't you
Okay,
tell the story
so-
about the little girl?
Hilariously at Glastonbury, it makes sense, doesn't it? Like, people bought tickets in 2019, then a world pandemic hit, and I was like noting to Rob, I was like, have you noticed, like, everybody has an under 1-year-old. Like, there are babies up the wazoo, and I was like, that's
Everywhere.
because people didn't expect to have pandemic babies, and we even met a couple that
Yeah.
were like, we had a pandemic baby too, and we left the baby at home, right? And our friends had a pandemic baby as well.
Yep.
Anyway, so usually there's always families coming to Glastonbury, but this year it was like, watch out, my baby's coming through, and we're watching
Remember-
TLC.
Yeah, that couple with the big baby carrier,
Oh
they're
my
just like
God.
coming through. It's like, no, we're a huge crowd of
And
people watching us.
They are like proper little bubbas, like they were
Yeah.
0 to 1 years old
Yeah.
or 0 to 2.
Yeah.
And they, those like those ear things, the headphones.
Yeah, there were lots of those, the protectors.
There's a little protectors. The babies are like, woo! I was like, wow, you're cooler than me. You're cool right out the womb.
65.
Exactly. Anyway, so you usually expect kids, but at this time there were just so many, and
Yeah.
there's this like half pipe. There's a skate park.
A big slide.
Yeah, no, but behind that is this little skate ramp.
Oh yeah, there's a skate
and
park as
the
part
way
of it.
that the slide looks like a professional ramp.
Yeah, like
that's
a
how they
very
built it.
tall half pipe.
Yeah,
and,
like
and
a
all
Tony
the-
Hawk type of
Yeah,
ramp type
and
of thing.
and it was kids sliding down
so it was
there.
they made it a slide rather
they-
than something for the skateboarders.
But they had to wear these like
boiler suits.
boiler suit onesies, so it was really funny watching them.
And the way that they said is like for most of them, because there was like a pull-up bar or press-up bar, whatever you call it.
Yeah,
And
piece of scaffold, really.
yeah, but they like a lot of times the boys would hang from it
Mhm.
and then drop.
Yeah,
Anyway, this little girl, she had to be about like 8,
maybe younger.
maybe younger, but 7, 8, something like that. She was like ready to do it, and then she was sitting there and she was like, "Oh no, oh no," and we're all kind of watching.
And there's
the-
like a big crowd. It was a popular thing.
So I guess some people were trying to cheer her on, because then people start noticing and then people start stopping, and we're like, no, and then she just couldn't do it, right?
Yeah.
So she chickens out.
Chickens out.
And then 2 more boys go and a girl goes, and
Yeah,
she's
her
watching.
friend.
Yeah, so she's watching them, and she's like, "Okay, I can do this, right?" Because
Yeah.
her girlfriend kind of went really fast.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, boom, I'm in. So of course she's like, "Well, I can do that."
Yeah.
Anyway, so she's sitting there again, and
And the crowd wants her
now
to
the crowd
do it.
wants, because we've been watching, and now a lot of people are stopping.
Yeah.
And she's sitting there, and she's like, "I don't think
You
I
can
can
tell.
do it. I don't think I can do it." And then all of us are like, "Come on, you can
Yeah,
do
you
it!"
can
And then
do it.
someone got the bright idea to go 4, 3, 2, 1, and she did it.
She did it.
And we all cheered.
And this look on her face as she got to the top and sat up was kind of like, it wasn't pure joy.
No, it
it
was
was a
not
way
pure
more
joy.
complicated emotion than that. But she was happy, and people were like giving her lots of attention and love. So she
Yeah.
obviously felt that as well.
So that was a lovely moment. I wish I had
It's a
that on
good
camera,
moment.
but okay. One thing about Glastonbury is that they gotta stop that partnership with EE. Because
Because that's the corporate sponsor. Yeah, man.
yeah, because
Caitlin,
not only is
punk
it the
rock.
corporate sponsor, but it like wiped out any self-respect service.
Not for me. I have 5G. 5G.
I didn't, and I was looking
5G.
at like the forums and stuff, and people were like, it went back to the Stone Age. Meet by the fifth tree.
Yeah, meet
on
by
the left
exactly.
side.
Well, it was either that or queue in what looked like a 2-hour-long queue to
To
get
charge your battery and whatnot.
Screw
it was
that.
crazy. Another highlight was the Worthy Farm toasty truck. So like literally they give you this like magazine or this book of all the acts that you could expect to
Memories.
see and things about Glastonbury, and in between they have stuff about Worthy Farm and whatnot, and they had just like a one pager talking about how they were selling the cheddar in the co-op, Worthy Farm cheddar, and on that page in a paragraph in one sentence being like, and we're selling toasties in the big field.
Yeah,
And-
at the back of the big field.
Yeah, and we were
Which
just
it sounds like that's the main field. It's not the main field. It's just a camping area on one edge
it's
of the.
behind the pyramids. Yeah.
Yeah.
So or it would be in front? No, it's behind.
No, it's behind.
Yeah, it's behind.
Because some of the camps you could see the actual pyramid.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's,
So
you
it's
know,
that.
it's way over there.
Anyway, we were there and there was always a queue and stuff, but like at first we couldn't find it, and then we asked some like stewards, and like one of them was like, I know where it is because
Yeah.
it's so good and there's gonna be a queue and blah 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 blah. And
But it was tiny.
it was tiny, and actually it wasn't like
Not the
reason-
toasty. The truck
The
was
reason
tiny.
why they don't advertise it that way is because everybody has a bit of hype.
Yeah.
And if they were to advertise it everywhere and it was only one truck, it just
would
wouldn't.
just
But like,
get-
it's also not the Eva's family style.
No.
They were like, you can
Understated.
find it.
Yeah. You want the toasty? Come get the toasty.
Oh my god, that was one of my favorite toasties
The
ever.
slice of bread was so big. It was one of those, like, it was almost like a slice and a half
Yeah.
width.
By the way,
And
it
the
was
cheese.
and the fillings.
I'm
also,
hungry.
yeah, I know. Also, literally, the entire time we kept seeing like stalls that were selling milk and toasty stalls and mac and cheese stalls, and I was like, is it a Worthy Farm one? Is it a Worthy Farm one?
Nope.
No,
Nope.
I'm not interested. I was like, I will buy a 2-gallon thing of milk if it's the Worthy Farm one, but until then,
And then we got our steps in to get it. We took the long way round. What was it? 130,000?
yes. by
Over the
end
course of Glastonbury?
Thursday to Monday, we went
Yep.
130,000 steps each, not collectively,
Nope.
each.
Amazing.
And still managed to lose no weight after doing extensive dancing.
I wonder if the
standing.
cheese toasties have anything to do with that.
We only had one.
So October, 3 months
Oh
time.
yeah, October we're gonna get those tickets.
Get those tickets.
Apparently, there's already a rumor because Mel C opened her mouth about the Spice Girls doing the Legend slot.
Now I said I don't know about that because the legend slot usually has to be an older performer. You know, like who was it last year? Was it Lionel Richie? I think not
know.
last year, last festival, whatever.
Because this year it was Diana Ross. And
This
then the
year's
one
Diana
songs,
Ross, and
Earth,
she's
Wind
like
and Fire.
78. Earth, Wind and Fire, ancient.
I mean,
but-
Kylie
wait,
Minogue's not
Kylie.
ancient.
No, okay. If Kylie's played it, then Spice Girls could play it for sure.
Just go down. Johnny Cash.
Kylie was 2019, which
Yeah.
Johnny Cash. I mean, he was late.
Okay, hold on. Keep scrolling. So there's Kylie Minogue, Mr. Gibb.
Mr. Gibb, will you play any songs
Oh
for
yeah,
us, Mr.
we
Gibb?
saw that one. We saw that because he was. We didn't see that, but
We
we
didn't
were
see
there.
it. We were there.
Okay.
Yeah, Lionel Richie.
Dolly Parton.
Dolly would have
Oh,
been awesome.
Jolene.
Kenny
Paul
Rogers.
Simon.
I mean, please.
Jolene.
Ray
he
Davies,
finally,
The
wait.
Kinks.
He finally got the Kinks. We saw this documentary where, like, before Michael Eavis started even thinking about a festival, he would play Lola through like a gutter drain to his cows, and he was like, I swear to God, that's how they would behave. They would just like expect the music, and it was the best sound system.
Yeah.
He's like, it's still the best speaker and sound system of Glastonbury.
Yeah, it's so funny. So yeah, he got him.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe the Spice Girls will play it. Maybe the Spice Girls will play it. Last thoughts on Glastonbury, Caitlin, so we don't bore everyone too much who wasn't there.
Oh my God.
Jealous.
I can't believe it. Get yourself a ticket or just go home. I don't know.
Not bad.
Not too bad.
Yeah, everyone should go.
You go.
Everyone should
Go. Except don't take my ticket.
Let's read the Noel Gallagher quote to
Oh, the one that I sent you.
yeah, to end this section.
Okay. There are literally hundreds of festivals in the world, and I should know because I've played most, if not all of them. The funny thing is, though, there's really only one festival in the world, in the truest sense of the word, anyway. Glastonbury is more important than Christmas. Glastonbury is more fun than New Year. Glastonbury can be brutal. Glastonbury can be magical. The weather? Who gives a shit about the weather? No one I know. The music? Who gives a shit about the music? No one I know. Who's headlining? Who cares? No one I know. It's not about hippies or liberals or peace or love or politics, although all the above do try to hijack it from time to time. Glastonbury is whatever you want it to be. Glastonbury will change your life. And if it doesn't, then I suggest you get a fucking life.
Thank you, Noel Gallagher. And he's right.
Yeah.
He is right. So, now, this is a long time coming, but we are going to watch this video now of these dogs. So it says, if it wasn't for the surveillance cameras, I can't believe it. There are 2 dogs
They're
on the
huskies,
sofa.
like
They're huskies. Look at that one.
One of them is like lounging on its behind, like it's
And
belly up.
the other's kind of tucked in, and the one that's lounging is doing the cinema move. You know, the...
I mean, they look really comfy. I mean, Rob's just done that to me now as well. It's like,
Of course.
Yeah.
I have to take advantage of that move if I can. They look like they're watching a great movie together. They look like humans, really.
They look like us.
They look like us.
It looks like how I'd like to be.
Slightly less hairy.
So the dogs are slightly less scary. So the dog just turned off the TV. They're knocking things over. He brought his food bowl out. He's opening the door. He opened the door. These dogs like open the door.
These
for-
dogs are geniuses. So they hear a noise at the door. They go, uh-oh, better get up. So they get up. He gets the remote. He presses the off button for the TV. One of them gets the bowl, and then they let the owner in. They open the door. It's like...
And he says thank you. The owner says thank you. So I think
I'm going to post this. I
even
think.
if they were just like taught to do this, it's mental.
It's brilliant.
Yeah.
Do you think they were taught?
Yeah, definitely.
They didn't just work it out.
No, I don't think they just worked it out. Okay, we can work it out.
Life
Yeah, work
is
it out.
very short. Yes. Okay. Well, look, we're almost at the end here. We've done 47 minutes. We have to prepare
Wowzers.
for a barbecue today.
I don't know why I said yes to this. I'm the one who suggested it.
It's gonna be chill.
Okay, but like, did you tell them about our week? Because our week was Glastonbury, right? We saw every sunrise, and barely slept. And I found out that I sleep better on the ground than on a mat.
You're so gangster these days.
And then we get home, and I was like, oh yeah, I also got us a gig to LCD Sound Systems. We
Yeah.
went to another gig the next day, and then the next day we had radio, which is the extension of this podcast.
And we met a celebrity at the gig.
No.
Yes, we did.
Well, we did, but moving on.
Yes.
And yeah, when
LCD were amazing.
LCD always amazing. They were great. We loved going. It was just like
We
but
weren't
when
even
you go to-
exhausted,
when
you
you
know.
go to a festival though, and then go to a gig after that, your festival just keeps going.
Yeah.
And then I felt like I was like, wow, I have to keep going with this festival, and I like had my own party on the couch, and then we fell asleep and woke up, and it was 7 a.m, and I was like, I have work at 8. So
Then
there
we
was
had
that.
radio that
And then we
night.
had radio the next night.
Yep. Thursday, we watched the Glastonbury documentary.
Yes, we stayed in, and then also
and
boogied.
partied because it was too much
And
fun.
then last night we finally did nothing, and then
Yeah.
But then our friends were like, "Are you still up for tomorrow?"
And we're like, tomorrow.
And you're like, "What do you mean tomorrow? What do you mean?" But you know, Monday is American Independence Day, which
Yep,
I love
yep.
to remind all of my British friends and make them celebrate. America leaving.
God save our gracious queen.
Sweet land of liberty.
Exactly. So we're going to celebrate freedom from those fucking Brits today.
Freedom. Yeah, no, who am I trying to get my British passport? Yes, so we're celebrating 2 days early, and I got to tell my team, I was like, you know, if I was in America, we'd have Monday off.
Yeah. You should insist on it.
Oh no, they're so nice that they'd probably be like, yes, it's your right to celebrate. would never do that. But yeah.
Yeah. So we're gonna go buy supplies, have a nice barbecue. Looks like the weather's gonna hold up. Thanks for joining me on the podcast.
You're welcome. Now fix my dress.
I shall now fix her dress. As you can tell, we don't have a toxic relationship at all. Thank you for tuning in to The Bliss of the Abyss. I love you. I'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Adios. Thanks for listening to the show. If you've enjoyed it, please give us 5 stars and consider becoming a subscriber and maybe even supporting us on Patreon. Really helps me continue making this show. If you haven't enjoyed it, then you can fuck off. Many thanks to Nils Hennis Steer for the amazing music and to Dave Fox for the cool artwork. Please keep coming back every week for more Bliss of the Abyss.
Message 1.